So I used to be a very avid world record hunter on Forest. I've had a fair share of them my own. And if you search it up these days, the lap times have just got more and more ridiculous. I remember when going underneath a minute was literally impossible, and now there's people getting 57s. So I was just having to scroll through to see what like the fastest is these days. And we've got Brovey up here with 57.8, and he's using lean help 0, so I'll disregard that. Down here we've got Spocket, who says he's on lean help 1 for 57.7, which I believe is actually the fastest recorded one. There's some my issue that I have these days is because it's so easy to change your tyre values in testing. I always find it a bit hard to believe some laps when I see them, especially when they look a little bit too good to be true. And I'm not calling people out by any means. This isn't saying that this, and this person are cheating, but it's more to say that I'm not going to go for a world record lap in this video. What I did want to show you, however, is my fastest lap around Forest is only a 59.8, and I thought I'd run faster than that. So the whole point of this video is to try and get my new best lap time on Forest. And I don't know how long it'll take. I've watched Brovey's and I've watched Spocket's lap to see what sort of lines they take. And there's only like one place that's a bit different from where I used to go. So on the quad step up, they now, instead of going inside double, they go outside, step all the way onto the top. And the rest of it all seems to be the same. It's just hitting the corners as fast as you can. So I'm going to see if I can set a new personal best today. My goal is to try and get into the 58s. If I don't get into the 58s within like 30 minutes, I'll call it there and say that it's been a failure. But hopefully you guys can watch me on some hot laps. And if you are newer to the game, you'll see all the fast lines on Forest. There is one scumbaggy line. I will warn you, the triple step up in the middle of the lap. If you hit it on the far left, you can basically low line it and jump off the track. Everyone does it, so I'm going to do it as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's load up some Forest and see how it goes. For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15, fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe. So I think in terms of setup for this, I'm just going to run what I've been running recently, which is the secret RUSPA settings MX KTM Bruv Init Tuesday. And that seems to be doing me okay. I'm going to go all the way down. We're going to go proper sweaty. We'll go all the way down to 2 litres. We'll reset the track to make sure there's no outstanding road on it. And do I have a track marker? I already do. Lovely stuff. So we're going to get 1 or 2 laps under my belt just to get a flow going. Because I say it's not. That's going to be quite far. It's not every day that I see her playing Forest, but we'll see how she goes. And yeah, we'll go from there. The only thing that I noticed in a couple of the laps that I watched is just how much traction people had and lack of front end tucking, which obviously I've got a lot of hours in this game at this point, far too many, and I just feel like there gets to a point where it's like sometimes things look a little bit dodgy. And again, not trying to call anyone out in particular because I'm well aware, like I've been accused of cheating so many times at this point, and it's just like how do you get to a point where you end up disproving it? And I don't think you can, but not sure what's going on with my front end right now. So yeah, both of them lap times were done a couple of months ago at this point, and I've not seen anything really updated since then in terms of laps. So I think it'll get to a point where the game just gets faster and faster and faster, and that is the point that we've got to now. I mean, yeah, back in my day, the olden days, I remember when sub 1 minute was impossible to get, and then I think it was myself and Jack, who's a name that I've not seen about in a hot minute, which going back and forth for ages, and then people were trying to get like the 250 world record around here, and then I tried beating that as well. And yeah, Forest is a track that it's always going to have a special place in my heart for those exact reasons. But we're going to see how it goes today. I have a feeling that my 80 direct lean compared to 100 direct lean might actually negatively impact me for this, just with how quick it will be going side to side in some of these turns. But I think for the most part, once we've got a little bit of a flow going, we should be absolutely fine. Say, if as you take off that jump on the far left-hand side, if you actually whip to the right as you take off, so your back end clips the fencing, it will actually give you a weird speed boost forwards. And these are just all weird little things that you can use to increase your lap times overall. Yeah, I don't really have settings or setups made for hot laps anymore, is my issue. I'm more of a race pace kind of guy. And one thing that I always fight... Please come out, there we go. One thing that I always find interesting these days is a lot of time when I go into public lobbies and servers, I struggle to win if there's anyone that's like semi-decent in there. Yeah, anytime it comes to a Supercross or Nationals race where the track's only been out for 30 minutes, I usually do really, really well. So I think a lot of time is you get good at what you put the time into. So if you practice a lot of forest, then you will be very, very good at forest. So let's try 4th gear up here, because 3rd gear wasn't enough last time. Barely. Don't know, them boys made it up there very, very cleanly. So I think that's going to take me a few attempts to get the right trajectory for it. I think it's very easy to jump too far to the left or too far to the right. And again, if you go far left here, clip the fence a little bit, it'll keep you nice and low and boost you forwards. You jump all the way down here. What I don't understand is how they can rail a corner like that and not let off the throttle the entire time. But still, my goal today, we're not going for world records at all because I'm basically washed up to the point where I can't really do that anymore. What we are going to be going for, however, is hopefully my first ever 58 around this lovely dirt course. Excuse me? I need to watch that back. I have no idea what just happened to my bike physics-wise. So we're all riding the fence. Then it goes to take off, and then it just doesn't take off, and it keeps going like nothing ever happened. Okay, good to know. Thank you very much, MX Bikes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then your yeet. Oh, I've gone to... Okay. You can step all the way up and over if you take off further on the left. I'm guessing it's got more of a lip on it. That's good to know. Time-wise, I actually think we are due for a 58 right now if we continue to lap off and end it nicely. And go down to 3rd gear for this corner. Try and do that. Oh, that's not a good scrub. That's going to cost me some time, I think. Hit the yeet. Try and hold this as tight as you can. Oh, no. Okay. Note to self. Be a little bit more gentle on the throttle in that place. Oh, that could have been it already. And how long? I've been recording for 8 minutes in total, including the intro. So that's not bad. That is a very, very promising sign. And it seems like the bulk of that time was made up by almost quadding the big old step up. So I'm going to give that a couple more attempts. Yeah, it seems like... Oh, not that bit. It seems like if you cut down earlier on the exit and you take off further on the left side, you get a bit more oomph to get up and over it. But then the issue is, you then make the left-hander at the top of the hill even sharper of an angle for yourself. So, it's a bit hit and miss. Maybe that's why they step on rather than stepping over, because it opens up the next corner and you can carry more momentum, carry more speed. No idea. But yeah, what I'm not understanding at the moment is how they're carrying so much momentum on the flat ground without having any issues with like handlebars or foot pegs dragging or hitting the floor. Because that's something that's going on for me right now. Is like the fork guards, it almost feels like are hitting the ground, which is causing the front end to like twitch and just lose all my momentum. So I've got no idea, but we're on to another decent lap here. I know it says we're 0.3 down right now, but you have to remember about the big mistake towards the end of the lap. So we're going to keep it going. Issue is, because these bikes are so fast these days, we have to scrub some of these jumps so hard to not just land completely flat. There you go, that's much better. Stay nice and low, stay low again. Scrub this bad boy. If you're wondering why I come out wide here and cut down, it's just because then you open up this next right-hander to carry up as much speed as possible. Whereas if you hug the inside on the left, you make that right really difficult for yourself. That was -2, so that's at 59.2, so that's still my best lap so far. We're still making progress, but I would really, really like to get into those 58s. Keep that going. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. That lost me a bunch of time. So if I go into 4th now... Oh, no, too high again. Yeah, you got to be very, very specific with your lean angle there. And it's almost got me wanting to mess around with this, but for the sake of it and sake of comfortability and not changing settings just to try and set a decent lap on Forest of all tracks, I will stay very, very clear from that, and I'll just try and run what I've brung and pray that I've brought enough. Other thing that I don't understand setting-wise is when I watch Spockets, I'll actually show you here what I'm referring to. When you go and watch Spockets lap, there's two things that don't make too much sense to me. So the speed in which he goes from leaning left here to leaning right looks insane for leaning out 1. But then also, as he's going up this hill, he's leaning back on a 450, but somehow not looping out. I'm not sure if that was a luck thing or if he's just practiced that one jump that many times, but yeah, that was a bit of a strange one for me. Obviously, everything looks rapid because he plays at like 130 FOV, which is nuts. I don't think my old man brain could keep up with that at all. Yeah, that transition from left to right, and then like I'm sat down and leaning forwards up this hill, and I'm still almost looping out. So yeah, it's very confusing. I do not understand the physics behind that at all. Let's go up into 4th gear, get it cranked over. take off further on the left. Oh, but then I've gone too far to the right on the landings. So that tightens up the corner. We're fast enough right now. We're barely hanging on to that 58. I'm going to go over to the left side, clip that, stay nice and low. Too low, too low, too low, too low. You can see where I can gain. I don't know where I'd gain 1.5 seconds though, but I can see where I'd gain 0.3 to get into the 58s. Oh, jumped a bit far to the middle. You really want to land on the far left there to open this corner up as much as you can. It's alright, we're up by a tiny bit. Actually, I'll just step up for now. Step over to the left. It might not be as slow as I think. So I didn't go further. Yeah, I'm still kind of bang on lap time wise. Keep it in third gear. Scrub this nice and low, which we did. Try and jump further over to the left here so we can start at the beginning of the corner. Rail it all the way around. Scrub this as hard as you can. Oh my goodness, I didn't mean to land that deep. But we are 0.7 up right now. Okay, noted. Is that a new strat to send that double really, really far into the face of the uphill? I wouldn't have thought so, but it felt pretty damn good. Oh, we're sliding. I might just send it into the finish line here because this is a 58. Or too tight. Oh, that last left-hander there was way too tight. But we are into the 58s. Actually, what's my ideal? Ideal's a 58.3. Okay. I'm kind of the brain's going. The brain's tingling. I'm just wondering realistically how much more time I could gain, because to get an extra 1.2, 1.3 seconds on top of that feels almost impossible, especially when I'm taking all the same lines. I guess it is just all momentum everywhere. Around to the right, step down. Oh my goodness. No, I was 0.6 up. Oh no. Oh god, boys, that could be it actually. Taking off further on that left was nuts. The only thing you have to worry about is, so this black arch right here, this is where sector 1 is. So if you jump a bit too far off the left-hand side of the track, so if you kind of cut across like that way instead of this way, then your lap time won't count. So I feel like jumping up and through this tree is cutting it very fine, but I cannot believe I've literally almost got all the way up and over that. That's going to be cutting it so fine in terms of timing, mate. If I could finish a lap like that, that would be nuts. That would be actually nuts. I'm going to go full try idea. We're going for a litre of fuel. Screw it. We're going. No! Oh, I was half a second up again. Oh, I'll tell you, it's slowly coming together. I still don't think I'd ever be able to gain 1.3-ish seconds, but there is a good 1.5-ish seconds for me to gain over the course of this lap time. I keep going into the just quiet tryhard mode. So yeah, apparently my original goal of just getting a 58 is not enough for me, which is always my issue. Once I start trying to go for hot laps, I can't help myself. I just keep going and going and going and going and going. The issue that I do have sometimes is when you reset so many times with max HUD, eventually the laps stop working properly and they stop counting, which is one thing that I'm a little scared of. I don't want to be on par for like a really, really good lap, go to hit the finish line, and it's like, lol jokes, actually, we don't want to give you that up. Step down. Getting that corner right seems to be one of the most difficult things. You just have to get the perfect lean angle. I'm just going to finish this lap off, actually, to try and get a bit of momentum going. One thing that you don't want to do when you're trying to go for hot laps is keep restarting on the first few corners, because then when you actually do get onto a lap, you completely forget how to ride the rest of the track. I'm going to try and... Oh, no, never mind. Bike couldn't lean over far enough. I was going to say... I don't think I can even get back on the track now, can I? Where's this going to respawn me? That's not too bad. I should try ascending this more, because if I can get lucky and downside one of these bumps, I should still have a good enough momentum to get up that hill quite fast. There's a lot more that goes into hot lapping a track like this than you think. Like, way much more. For such a simple track, there is a lot to it. I feel like it's just been perfected so much at this point that you do need to spend a good amount of time to get it, which is something that I'm not going to do today, but I can still try my best to get close. can't believe I've just overshot that corner. Oh, I was a second up. I was a second up, and I've just lost like 0.6 at the end there. Oh, that's so frustrating. Oh, I can't believe it. That would have been a 57. That would have been better than 57.8 ideal. Okay. Now it's starting to come together. I get it now. There's a lot of things that you need to put together for one good lap around here. But sending that quad all the way up and over could just be my ticket to trying to get that. So, I don't know. I can't think is I've not got the time to be sat here and grinding this all night because I literally need to pack to go away in the morning. So this is a little bit of a conundrum that I'm in. I wonder. Oh, actually, so my issue is if I put this video out, I think the Fast Boys are going to go onto Forest and just absolutely decimate the world record. So I was going to say it's something I could try and pick up again at a later date to try and go as fast as possible. But I don't know. I mean, I'm happy that there's glimpses of greatness in amongst all the mediocrity. Sending this to here actually is not bad at all, because then you don't end up over jumping that by miles. You get a slightly better setup for this left-hander. So yeah, there's lots of parts to it. I didn't expect to send this as far as I did on that lap is the only issue. So yeah, if I could try and tie all segments together, I'd be a very, very happy man. Ah, too far to the left. Ah, I mean, that'd be sick if you could count that. But you see at the top left, where my first sector time hasn't finished, that's because I missed that timing gate there. So that's actually a good way to tell. So when I'm trying to quad all the way up and over to the inside, that's actually a really good point of reference to see if the lap's going to count or not. Ah! I'll tell you what, these tyres are going to be the death of me. I'm literally just flirting with death every time I go up that step up. Oh, if you don't hit the ones that are on the left-hand side, then you end up drifting too wide and hitting the ones that are on the right-hand side. And oh my god, you're just constantly trying to thread the needle on traction and no traction. This lap has been absolutely grinded for. This is unreal. And if I don't get it today, 100% I'd like to come back and try again at another point. Maybe not for a video this sort of style, where we're just sitting here watching me try and run lap after lap for a video, but one is then one-offs where I just go and grind off camera, and then if I get it, cool, we'll go back and replay and watch it. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. But yeah, one of the biggest things is trying to get all the way up and over this bad boy, and then giving a good enough angle to then hit this switchback without clipping the tyres, because the tyres on this track are just doomed. As soon as you hit them, it's done. It's over. Oh, boys. I don't think I've got it in me today. I've been recording for coming up to 35 minutes now in total. And if we have a look at the attempts, there's a lot of misses in here. A hell of a lot of misses. But this ideal lap time is keeping me very, very, I guess, confident or motivated to try and get that. Unfortunately, I'm basically running out of time to try and do this today. However, this is not a closed book. This book has no end just yet. I'd be very, very excited to know if you boys would like to see me pursue this and try and beat it. We could even go as far as maybe doing a dedicated trying to beat the Forest World Record stream. That could be quite cool. But again, always take these laps with a pinch of salt for anybody that you see doing hot laps in testing. Just beware that there can be some amendments made. All I can do is give you my word and promise you that there are no tyre or rider weight values being changed at all. But I cannot speak for everybody else. Again, that is not calling people out, because there are some very, very talented individuals on this game. However, this is basically as perfect to a lap, I think, as you can probably get around Forest, like the 57, like 8s, 57 7s. So it's going to take something very, very special for me to try and beat that. But if you want to see it, whether it's in video form or stream form, then by all means, I'll definitely do it at some point. But I am out of ran out of time to record this for you today. I got very, very close. We done what I wanted to do. I got my new best by literally about a second, which I think is quite good. But yeah, we need to make some changes to this overall. I mean, setup wise, I feel like the bike that I'm on and like suspension stuff can do a very, very good job at it, and it's just about putting all the pieces together. So I apologize that I've not been able to do that for you today. However, we'll probably come back at another point. If you enjoyed this, then please do drop a cheeky little like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And hopefully, if any of you are slightly newer to the game and you was wondering about the fastest way to get around Forest, then hopefully this has been more of a like an informative video for you. And I will say, have a lovely rest of the day, and whatever it is that you're up to. As soon as I have crashed, we will end the video. There will be no more words said. It will be a strict cut-off. This is the last chance that we're going to go for right here. Try and step all the way up and over. Did not get up and over clean, but it's not too terrible. Let's hug the inside here. Oh, so I'm going to start playing the virtual music. And then Lynn's got this run. Do do do. Do do do. Little tire tap on the fence there. That was quite sexy. Do do up. Okay, that was actually looking really good. Goodbye, everybody.
I'm sacrificing my life. I'm sacrificing my mind. I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine. I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain. Even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want.